The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the New Media Factory. Some programs on this network might include strong images and language and may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
It's not just a physical. I'm the taboo weirdo, so critical. Let's make things physical. I will treat you like you're oh so typical.
Date night with Noelle and Miki.
I will treat you like you're oh so typical.
Hello, episode of Date Night. I'm Noelle.
And I'm Miki. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're really excited to have you here, and I'm actually kind of excited because
This is the first time seeing my outfit. I actually like it a lot. I
guess we might as well.
I don't wear
show
maxi
our
skirts
outfits.
and I think I should start.
Yes, this is Crazy About Maxi. That is Noelle's wearing now. I'm wearing a top and skirt from Flattering Tops. So thank you, Miss Casey. Thank you for Flattering Tops. And yeah,
Okay, that's all.
we didn't really have a mirror when we were getting ready, so we're just now seeing what we look
Right,
like.
and I like it. I'm impressed. Thank you, Casey. And of course, our lovely makeup.
Yes, of course. Notch, Zarazoga. Thank you so much.
Zaragoza.
Notch. Oh my god! Okay, anyway.
I was just complimenting when she was doing my makeup today. I was asking for the little nitty bitty tricks on what to do and colors to put because I cannot do makeup or crap. Like she told me to send her pictures of my makeup once it's done, and I'm like, you're gonna think it's like smudged dirt because that's what it pretty much looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're pretty good at makeup.
Yeah, you know, it depends here and there. But I have a tendency to wake up in last night's makeup. But anyway,
Yeah, she does.
We're getting completely off base here. You guys, we have a pretty exciting topic today. We tend to, you know, we're trying to stay within like dating and relationships and somewhat in society and like different kinds of things. So I know that you and I have been glued to a show on National Geographic called Taboo. And it's such a cool show. But anyway, what were you saying?
I was gonna say I was gonna show how to make it.
Oh, that's right! Yes.
So we always usually start off the show with a cocktail because what's a date night without a few drinks? So this week I'm gonna pretty much tell you how I made it since it's already made and half drunken. So pretty much this is my version of tequila sunrise, but the little twist that I did to it was instead of using orange, well, let me tell you what's in a tequila sunrise. Tequila sunrise is an ounce, so 4 counts of tequila, plus you fill it with orange juice and you top it off with grenadine. But instead of orange juice this time I used what's it called? Four Seasons juice, which is big here in the Philippines apparently, and
it's yummy.
I try to use authentic and only juices that I'm finding here that we can't really find anywhere else. So again, it's easy to make at home, and it's pretty yummy too. So tequila, an ounce of tequila, fill it up with the Four Seasons juice, and top it off with just a little bit of grenadine because it's already a sweet juice as it is. So
it gives it that even more like reddish color,
yes.
right? Yeah.
So here we are.
Amen. Cheers.
I'm gonna call it Tequila Passion Sunrise.
Because you were so passionate in your day.
And because, yes, very passion, I guess.
But anyway, okay, so back to where I was. We've been kind of glued to a lot of various episodes of Taboo.
On National Geographic.
Yes, on National Geographic. And so they kind of brought us some ideas of things to talk about. Anyway, so first thing is like,
So what I was telling Miki is that we thought it would be cool to kind of give awareness to the different kinds of taboos from different cultures. Like for example, in the Philippines, something taboo could be as simple as like moving out. Like from what I know, a lot of kids don't move out until sometimes when they're married. And as well as sex before marriage, of course, that's taboo in I think a lot of the cultures now.
I'd say most cultures it's taboo, but there are some exceptions.
And I know here also it's not common. It's taboo to show public display of affection, like outdoors. Like, have you seen anything like that?
Yeah, I have.
Like, not at clubs, not at clubs.
No, regular. Like when we're out shopping and stuff. I actually very frequently see girls like holding hands and like.
Two girls?
Yeah, all the time.
No, not like that. I'm talking about like making out. Like,
no, I haven't seen like.
It's not
get
as
hotel room.
Yeah, it's not as common. I mean, like there's something as simple as like pecking on the cheek and stuff, and yeah, holding hands. But in terms of what we see in the States, like we could see people like pretty much making out like next to a wall or something. But yeah, so that's another thing that's kind of taboo. And sometimes talking about sex here is even taboo, which is why I think a lot of people are kind of intrigued by the topic. But anyway.
But on the topic of sex, so there are a lot of things like that are very gender focused that I think that like are a norm in society and different cultures. But one thing, like for instance, like guys, you know, circumcision, you know, babies are often, I'd say a lot of countries and cultures, the boys are usually circumcised at birth. However, there are also some cultures that don't do circumcision at all. And then there are some cultures where they circumcise at adolescence when the guy is becoming a man. So that's part of him, like his coming of age process.
More to take out the older you go and the more painful it is.
But there's not really like an origin as to where circumcision began. It's more or less, you know, just kind of accepted.
I think it's for cosmetic purposes because nobody wants to see an uncircumcised. I'm sorry if you guys are uncircumcised, but it just looks funny when it is. Like it looks like an elephant's trunk.
Yeah, well, I think one of the conclusions that they may have come to is that it kind of started in like Egyptian times because it's kind of like a snake shedding its skin, so they removed the foreskin for that purpose. But anyway, have you? Okay, so what about like? Weren't you watching something? There was something about like female.
Yeah. So what I found out, I mean, I was researching more topics on circumcision, and out comes a topic or a video on the female genital mutilation.
Yeah, I walked in on the middle of that too.
What is that? And so I was like, what else can you take out down there? Because I mean, it's just there. Like there's nothing dangling. But apparently in London this is a common practice as well as some Middle Eastern countries.
Well, yeah, it's really common in Western, Eastern, North Africa, also parts of Asia.
Apparently when a girl is 9 or 10 years old during summer break, she goes through the female circumcision process. And what happens is, okay, first of all, there's no anesthesia.
Ah, sounds so painful.
Second, they use either scissors, a razor blade, or a knife.
Okay.
And what they do is they just take out a girl's clitoris.
Wait, they actually cut off the clit?
Like they
remove it?
Yeah, they snip it off. And the reason for that is apparently so they won't get into any sexual temptation.
But don't they also sew the vagina shut?
Yeah.
And they just leave like an area where
and so I don't know if they do this for all the countries, but
my vagina's sore just thinking about it.
Yeah, no, I saw a picture of once that circumcision process is done, there's the doctor, whoever, I don't even know if they're doctors, but whoever is in charge of taking out the clitoris is
or as you call it, the clitoris rex.
The clitoris rex. They sew the vagina shut so that the only hole existing is your pee-pee hole and your butthole. And so there was this girl that went through that, and she ended up having complications because
that's where I walked in.
Yeah, the doctors found a mass in her I guess pelvic area.
Wait, I didn't walk in on this. Tell me.
Oh yeah, so the doctor, she was having like a stomachache or stomach cramps or whatever, and it got really bad. And when she went to go get checked, they told her that there was a mass in her abdomen area.
From her period?
Yeah, and what happened was it wasn't a mass, it was all the blood. Because she's been having her period for how many years now, and it was that mass that can't escape because it was like sewed shut.
Oh gosh.
And so that's where the complication came in. And you know, it's really unhealthy for girls, and a lot of activist groups are really against it, which is good.
Right.
I mean,
well, when they have a baby, don't they open that hole up?
They open that back up once you're married.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But in between then, like you're pretty much absorbing all that.
But the whole purpose is for the girls to control their sexuality, right?
Yeah.
Right. Like, I mean, that's just a bit extreme, if I do say so myself, you know, hey, we don't want you to have sex, we're going to sew your vagina shut, and we're going to remove your clit so you can't enjoy it.
And this still goes on right to this day. Like, there's
still?
To date, there's like hundreds and millions of girls that have already gone through this process. So it's still going on, and it sounds painful. Like, I'm just like this, like...
Okay.
Talking about it.
Well, speaking of another coming of age for girls specifically, we also stumbled upon a video of there's an Apache tribe in North America And yeah, this one's pretty interesting, so we wanted to share it with you. We kind of tried to trim it a little bit, but
this is just one of the rituals.
This is just one of the rituals, but
to transition into womanhood.
Yes.
So here we go.
The ceremony requires Dashina to live by strict rules. These 4 days mean little sleep, scant food, and the need to set aside emotion. Throughout the ordeal, she must wear a face of stoic resolve. As their ancestors did, the girls run toward the rising sun, circling the basket 4 times to mark the 4 stages of life. With darkness near, it's time to dance beside the ceremonial fire. Dashina and the other girls will dance all night long, much of the time hidden in the big teepee. More than 10 hours later, Dashina is still dancing.
There you have the Apache.
This is just an example of one of the Apache, a girl in the Apache tribe who is making the transition, you know, a coming age from childhood to womanhood, so she can be accepted into the tribe as a woman. No. And basically what they're doing is they're testing her strength, her character, and basically all the things that she'll need as a grown part of the tribe.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so we wanted to
things are done a little differently.
We were kind of comparing that to our lives and like, gosh, do we have any traditions like that? I have something similar. We have a similar thing that goes on in our culture.
I mean, I wouldn't say this is if this is what you're leading up to, I wouldn't necessarily say this is something that I partook in, but where we come from, it's a little bit more like this.
It's all about them, I put and pump it up in the club. Let me teach you how to dance, and I put and pump it up. Ladies get crazy when I dance my dance on the floor, on the floor, on the floor, floor, floor. Dance in the club, everybody hands up, put your hands up and down. This is my portrait and pump it up. Dance on the club, everybody hands up, put your hands up and down. This is my portrait and pump it up. Yes, they be checking me out, 'cause they know I'm from out of town. I be doing
It's kind of similar to the Apache tribe.
It's different.
It's just, we learned, I think we got that from the Apache tribe. Maybe?
No,
I don't know if that dance took 10 hours, but I mean, we're
going to EDC, and that's
we're so good. We did, we can do that in 4 hours. Like, all that, yeah. So I guess that's our modern day culture's version of womanhood. Like, what is this called?
In a very sick comparison.
This is our generation's girls' rite of passage nowadays, and you can find that a lot at nightclubs. And it's still fun.
Though, like that kind of stuff though, honestly, what was in that video, I've not seen anything like that since I got here.
Yeah, no, that doesn't happen in the Philippines either. And that's another thing that's taboo in the Philippines is just, I guess, freak dancing. I think that should be
being raunchy. Because I mean, honestly, the stuff in that video is pretty raunchy.
Yeah, because in the Philippines, when you go out, nobody dances. And I'm really surprised. So when my friends and I visit here from the States, you just see everybody go.
Well, and it's especially frustrating for me as a DJ because that's kind of what the crowd is like.
This is me raging at the club. That's me having a great time.
It's very deceiving.
Yeah. So I think it's just not in our culture to prance around in your underwear. No, emotionally express ourselves. Although there are people that do, but
I don't know.
The majority don't. I don't think.
Maybe but it seems like I don't think that. I think in some sense I'll beg to differ because it seems to me like the Filipino culture is also very expressive, but more on a passionate level than sexually. I think that where we come from, it's very it's more of an overt culture where people are very sexually expressive to the point where it can be really gross.
Yeah.
But here they're less expressive.
Yeah. They do it in a very passive way.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I could.
So you have the Apache version and you have the non-American culture version of.
I don't wouldn't say that, just American.
into womanhood. I think. And it's still practiced today, so I mean, you can find that anywhere pretty much in the
That's
States.
current, yes. That was probably last week. Anyway, so okay, we're talking.
I've never done that.
We're talking like, okay,
Yeah.
from like, you know, from a girl coming from like childhood to womanhood and mutilation and all blah blah blah. But okay, so there's a lot of different kinds of like coming of age and rites of passage, and there are some cultures like. Once we started watching this like taboo episode, then all of a sudden, like, I don't know about you, but my mind just started going in like a million different directions, and I wanted to read like all these different rituals.
Okay.
Like, well, I found the blood initiation. There is there's an area in Papua New Guinea where basically there is a tribe that believe in order for timid boys to become brave and attract women, that they have to basically expel female blood. Not quite understanding that, but basically they have to expel the female blood that they got from their mother at childbirth. So basically what they do is
they stab themselves in different places.
Yeah, they basically like pierce themselves in different places so that they're releasing blood, and they refer to that as a blood initiation because
I'm glad I'm not in that tribe.
Yeah, that might sound a little bit. But yeah, you know, have you seen the videos where they're like poking things through their tongue and like sticking through their cheek and like all that good stuff?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. No, so that's one.
No, the ones that I was really intrigued about were, so we kind of talked about the girls coming of age, or what is it? I like referring to it as the
you call it the rite of
passage. Now, for a little boy, his rite of passage for this one, I forgot what African tribe it was, but in order for him to become a man or to be accepted as a man, he's the one that has to get.
There are a couple tribes that do that.
Yeah,
there are.
And you can tell the different tribes by the markings.
By their markings.
So what happens is, I mean, no anesthesia again, and there's just this local cutter that comes in, and the guy lays down, and he just starts cutting away like different areas of his body, and those marks mark their tribe, and and so there's blood everywhere, and it takes about an hour, and after that he's a cool guy now. Like before the markings, he wasn't even accepted into the tribe yet.
But they even do it to kids though, like on their face. Oh yeah, remember the little boy that had like markings on his face, like, and he was like crying. But the thing is, like, those are more like sliver-sized things. Well, there's another tribe. It's an Amazon. It's a tribe in the Amazons. And what they do is their initiation is the boy can be like I think about like 12 years old, or as young as 12 years old. They fill gloves full of what are they? Bullet ants. Not even the fire ants. Bullet ants. Which, if I'm correct, they have enough neurotoxins. It's like 30 times the pain of a wasp. So these kids have to stick their hands inside these gloves full of bullet ants. And not only do they have to do it once, but they have to do it from 10 to 20 times before they can become a man.
I feel like our culture has it so much easier than these, and this is, I'm sure, still being practiced right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but we're also talking about like Aborigine tribes, you know, for the most part. These are tribes that are still, you know, they're still living by the traditional ways, and those rites of passage are very important to them.
Yeah. No, but the one that I was kind of intrigued about, the one that you saw was the I talked about the scarring one.
Yeah.
Like the crocodile one, where they actually scar, but then they also peel away the skin.
No, it's really, really painful to watch.
Are we gonna show a video?
Yeah, actually we are. So basically what this is another tribe. I believe this is also in New Guinea, where I'll let the video speak for itself. You guys are gonna see.
Along the Sepik River in Papua New Guinea, a group of initiates is about to enter the final stage of a long and arduous ritual. They range in age from 11 years old to more than 30. There is no set age for the rite, but no one can have full status as a man until he's done it. The initiates will be scarred with the mark of the crocodile.
The meaning of the crocodile is ancestral for us. These cuts tell everyone to recognize us as initiated men.
If these young Sepik men can suffer through the pain of being scarred, they'll be strong enough to shoulder the burdens of adulthood. The initiate's uncles hold them down as tribal cutters wield the razors. The men can chew a leaf that has the effect of a strong drink, but they get no anesthetic to dull the pain. They have their hundreds of wounds treated, but the touch of a feather is all their throbbing, aching bodies can bear. In the days ahead, this process will turn these cuts into the highly prized marks of the crocodile.
Now you thought a tattoo was bad. Try getting cut 100 times plus with a freaking razor.
But that's not just like a tattoo, or it's not just like a cut. They're actually like separating your skin.
Yeah, but the thing is, and I cut this out, but what they do is they don't just, like, the cutting process is just the beginning. Because there's also, they, like, instead of just letting it heal, they don't want it to heal because then it won't scar properly.
Right.
So they actually, after the fact of the cutting and all that, they stay in this, like, this hut, which is like the spirit room, and then they actually sit by the fire to let the smoke irritate their wounds so that it'll scar even more. Yeah.
Okay, well,
So,
I mean, you did tell me about that video, so in American culture these days,
or I'd say, you know what, not even this American, because I think this is just
or modern day
modern
culture.
pop culture.
Okay.
It is,
I guess we do have
see
something
a lot of
similar
shit.
to that. It's just emphasized like 50 billion times with what. Oh, here we go. Like, let's just show them the pictures of what
Yes.
kind of happens.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of extreme, you know, like piercings that is done, and that's considered, like, for them, they're doing it for art. I mean,
Yeah.
basically that's like a corset piercing where they have lace and they, you know, do the whole deal. But I mean,
Oh my God.
yeah, that's taboo. Yeah, it's not something you see a lot, but it is something that does exist, and they consider that pretty. So I mean, hey. It's kind of like, you know how the tribes where they pierce their face or they stretch their necks, you know.
Or yeah, they put like a plate on their lip or
Right.
whatever.
And if the people that don't have that are
They're
deemed less
considered ugly.
ugly because
Yeah.
they don't have that kind of,
Yeah.
I guess it's like a status.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What other pictures do we have?
This
Same
was
one.
one, it's the same deal where it's like the piercing lace, but there's like an actual like chain around this girl's lip. And then her, what do you even call that?
A little bell in your throat.
What do you,
What's that called?
I had the name for it earlier and I
A
forgot.
little ding dong in your throat.
Yeah, the ding dong in her throat is pierced, which is, I don't know what the purpose
So I mean,
of that is. I
understand.
really can't make sense of that.
I understand that stuff. Like,
You
that's
do understand
tolerable. But like the next,
What do you understand about that?
I mean, it's not like horrific. Like, it's surprising and shocking, but unlike, let's say the
Okay.
next one.
Unlike
this,
this is
I
horrific.
do not understand
This is
that.
unreal to me. Like, I didn't even know this. I had no idea this shit existed
Yeah,
until
no.
today.
It's called body carving, and apparently it's
This is
like
so freaking
tattoos.
gross.
It's like getting a tattoo, but
What is she
times
doing
50.
though? Like, what?
So you're pretty much like a pumpkin. You're being carved. So what they do is
Oh my God.
instead of cutting your skin, they cut
They
your skin
cut it
and then they
and
peel
peel
it off. And you see, it's like, I mean, in the end, it looks kind of cool.
That
but,
looks sick.
But it's like bamboo shoots. You see that? So that's the healed version of the
You're the one who did
bottom
the
right.
research on this one, right?
I did. Yeah. And then you see the top.
Is this
upper-
common?
No, I don't think it's common, but it's being done.
How much
And
does this cost?
I have no idea, but I mean, if you guys Google body carving, you'll find a ton of different images and people getting it done. And actually, some of them are really
That is
good
so
looking.
gross.
I
But
know.
I know, but the skin and the skin on that thing
Yeah.
is really like
Yeah,
really
so that's
disturbing.
So you can
to me.
see that they're actually taking out skin, like long pieces of skin.
It looks like chicharron.
Oh my God! Seriously? I am not. Well, chicharron pretty much is that.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's great. Let's see the next picture. Okay, see, that, I do not understand that either. This is pretty much, she combined like 50 tribes in one in that body. So what you can see is, first of all, the body full of tattoos. She has implants on her head to make it look like demonic.
I think that, you know what it is? I think that after so long, it's like you've already gone so far, it's like she can't even go back. She's like,
What the
screw
hell?
it, let me just keep going with this. What else can
Yeah.
I do? What's next? Okay, I want horns. That would be dope.
It's crazy because when I think we were watching her interview
Yeah.
on National
I
Geographic.
think they call her Devil Lady, and she's I believe she lives
Yeah.
in Mexico.
And she seems really nice.
No, she sings, yeah. But it was so
Like I
weird to see the before and
running
after.
away.
Do you remember seeing the before and after pictures?
Yeah, before she was like a normal American girl. Wasn't she?
Mexican. She's American. I mean,
Oh, that's
Mexican.
right. She was the Mexican one.
Yeah, she was in Mexico. But
She looked like a normal Mexican girl.
well, I mean, don't you think that's normal? Hey, you know what? Normal is all
You're gonna get
relative.
rid of by the Mexicans.
But no, I don't mean it like that. I'm just saying my point is that normal's a matter of perspective.
yeah.
But yeah, okay. But anyway, no, I don't think that looks
Perspective-
particularly normal.
No, perspective and I guess majority. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's, so, for example, it's considered normal, like how we're dressing is normal. But if we were dressed like that, that's not normal.
Right. So what else does she have done? I mean, her eyes.
So she has like a ton of piercings. I'm sure her whole body's pierced. She has 2 implants on her head that they did as an incision. And she has,
Giant engages in her ears.
yeah, and which is from
were
a
her
tribe
teeth
too.
sharpened too?
Yeah, her teeth. Oh, and oh yeah, that's right. Her teeth are sharpened. So I swear, like in this one lady, that's why I think this picture was.
There's like 10 tribes.
Yeah, it pretty much describes the history, or I mean, what's the practice of like 10 different tribes. Because there's a tribe that we were watching about where
Where they sharpen the teeth.
yeah, if your teeth are straight, it's not a good thing for their tribe. Like,
Yeah.
the more crooked it is, the more beautiful.
Not
they
even
are.
not even crooked. They actually saw
Yeah.
down the teeth so that they're sharp.
They look like
Each and every one
They look
is
like
like-
shark teeth. Like,
Yeah.
it's all pointy, and that's considered really beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say it's in Cambodia. It's like a Cambodian tribe, but I'm not
No,
sure.
I don't think it's. I think it's
Yeah, it was. Remember I asked.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was in Cambodia, but it's
Or like
a-
South Asia?
something like that.
I
So
don't- I
yeah,
don't
pretty
recall
much
that.
it's taboo.
Yeah. And we have one more fellow here.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that's not 2 tongues. He actually sliced his tongue in order to. They call him the reptile man. There's actually one that's more extreme, but I couldn't find a picture.
Oh, the one that. Do you remember the one? There's like a guy who.
See those teeth? Those teeth are the ones.
Oh
we're
yeah,
talking
with the
about.
sharpened teeth.
Yeah, like that's considered beautiful for women, not men though.
Oh,
It's a
well, in
woman
that
thing.
tribe, are you sure?
Yeah, it was a woman thing. Like she would never find a husband for her life if she.
No,
didn't
she
have-
had a husband, and he wanted
blessed
her.
her to be
He
more
wanted
beautiful.
her to get her teeth sharpened.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess it's just whatever your perception of art and beauty is.
Yeah.
Is
I mean, you know, yeah.
This is
anyway, so
modern
this
day
guy slit his tongue, and
pop
he-
culture practices.
I guess this is the modern day pop culture comparison to the traditional things. I don't think there's any kind of cultural bearing behind this, aside that people just want to have an individual identity,
Right.
and this is how they choose to do it.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen like anyone like have you ever seen someone to this extreme, like out in public?
person?
Yeah.
No, I have not. Have you?
I'm sure I've seen some at like a tattoo festival, but I don't
No.
recall seeing anyone like in public where I was just like,
Not like that lady that
Dumbfounded.
we saw. No, I think she would scare me. I don't know. She seemed like a nice girl, but I think she would freak me out.
Yeah,
Her husband and her kids are like normal too. She has a family, right?
yeah.
Girl, yeah. And her.
See, we know her whole life story.
Yeah, it was
but
intriguing. It was something really.
yeah, no, it's super intriguing.
Yeah, but
I don't even remember where I was going. But okay, so that's some of the comparisons of, you know, pop culture and some of the things that are still practiced in more of the Aborigine tribes. But also one of the things that like completely blew my mind is like on the concept of courting. So, I mean, we all have like different ways in our own experiences of courting and what's considered normal. But there's actually, you know, something that's very common practice in Cambodia is something that is called love huts, where these huts are built outside of the house for the girls, not for the guys, but for the girls.
like their father builds them this hut.
Yeah, like the parents
daughter.
build them a hut, and it's for the girls to basically have sex with guys.
To meet and their age. What are they?
I don't remember the age,
Early
but they look
teenagers.
hella young.
Early teenagers. So I think with that, as soon as a girl becomes a teenager, her dad makes her a hut, and she invites boys over, and they talk, and they have sex.
Well, yeah, but we also have a video for this that kind of, you know, I mean, we could sit here and we could talk about it all day, but I think the video is better explaining it, because it makes us look stupid if we keep trying to talk about it.
Yeah, they know better.
Teenagers everywhere seek their own space away from prying eyes. But it's rare that they get active encouragement from parents.
Love huts in Cambodia can be perceived as being taboo because we look at parents as protectors and safeguarders of a woman's virginity or sexuality, not promoters of it.
During the day, Korean girls and boys keep their distance. But after dark, they get together. Nang Wan heads back to her hut, while Nang Chan waits for a visitor.
When you have a boyfriend over to visit, you don't talk loudly or joke around too much, or your parents will know the boy is there.
Korean girls try to be discreet, even though sex before marriage is not taboo. And according to the girls, it's their choice, not the boys'.
If I want to sleep with a boy, I'll ask about his background. If he's a lazy boy or a bad boy, then I won't invite him. If he is a good, handsome, industrious boy, then I might decide to sleep with him.
Some observers believe the love huts give the girls control and independence. Before the rest of this Kriung village awakes, boys leave the love huts and head home. Only when a couple are engaged will they be seen together in daylight.
Okay. Oh, at that age, first of all, I wasn't even allowed to have a boyfriend. Second, I was never given a hut. Third, if I were to have a hut, no boys would be allowed. It would just be like me and my dad and my mom. Like,
I know, they have like tree houses and stuff.
It would be a boring hut. Like, I think it'd be cool to have a hut.
Are you gonna offer your daughter a hut?
I would, not for sex. I would probably build a tree house, which is modern day pop culture practices. We call them tree houses. But yeah, no, like they're like 12 and 13, and they're encouraged to have sex. And in their culture, it's not taboo.
Well, one of the things too is that, and it's not like been proven, or it's not like there's any kind of necessarily like statistic. I'm sure there's some kind of data to back it up, but you know, because they put the women in a place of empowerment, you know, they think that may actually result in like less rape and like, you know, things along those lines, like, because the girls have a choice to say yes or no.
So kind of like get it out of the way before, like, so express it rather than suppressing it.
Maybe. I mean, maybe that's some of the psychology behind it being not taboo there. Whereas, you know, I'd say in a lot of parts of the world, yeah, I would.
So like, okay, like for example, for you, what's expected of you? Like, let's say, how are you expected? I'm sure you're expected to get married, and what do your parents expect of you to happen?
I don't know. I mean, my mom's just like, no, seriously, my mom's attitude is just like, if you're happy and you're living life and you're not doing anything bad, then I support you. And actually, you know, my dad, like growing up, has always had like super heavy expectations of me. Yeah. And he's always been like really tough on me, especially because I'm the oldest and because I'm a girl. But, you know, I don't live under his roof. I have not lived under his roof for 10 years. So it's just like, you know, he also has a mutual respect for me as an adult. Yeah. That, you know, I'm just gonna do it. But of course he has expressed to me that, you know, he does want me to get married, he does want to have grandkids, you know, he wants me to do all this kind of stuff. In fact, one time we had a conversation about adoption and he was like hardcore not for it. Yeah. Just because he wants to have grandkids that are his seed, which, I don't know, I guess that's the traditional side of my dad, but he's like totally not for adoption at all. But what about you? Like, what are your parents?
No, same thing. Like, you know, we went through kind of stages with these videos, and you know, like as a kid, they just expect me to go to school, and then as an adolescent to not have a boyfriend, which is so not that Cambodian way. I just had a room. They didn't have a hut. My parents are so cheap.
Jeez.
And then, so yeah, and of course,
about thinking in like side the box.
Yeah, and then, I mean, I didn't have like an Apache ritual dance or anything, but I did have my club days.
Your booty grinding days?
Yeah, I mean, everybody went through booty grinding days, and it's disgusting. You should never go through those days ever again. Like, freak dancing, it's still a common practice.
Well, even among
clubs. No, seriously, like
when old women.
Sure, like no. When I used to bartend in the States, I would see the nastiest things.
You would have the most horrible stories when you would get home from work.
If there's a club, if there's a pole in a club, rest assured that pole has been humped already. Like
many times.
Every time girls girls see a pole, they flock to that pole and just start like grinding on it, humping it.
And the thing is too, it's not just like one girl at a time. A lot of times it's like a freaking cesspool of girls.
They share
on one
the pole. The pole's like this big. They would share the pole and just like 4 or 5 couples just.
But the thing is, like when you're on the outside looking in, you can also see the hawks. Like the guys are just like hawking out.
And I'm sober.
They're just like waiting to go and pray.
Because we're not allowed to drink, so I'm sober. So when I see all these things, I'm just like, oh, I hope your parents. I'm like, do your parents know what you're doing? Do they know that you're dancing like that? Like, does your dad know that? Because seriously, the way they dance is just like, and I'm sure some of them have like fake IDs, but like the way they dance is just. I want to imitate it so bad, but I'm gonna look really retarded.
Well, there's a mic pole right there. You want to give it a shot?
No. Okay, pretend this is the guy, so he's dancing, right? Like, oh yeah. And then the girls are like bent over like this, and she's like, oh yeah. Like,
oh yeah.
And I would see that, and then they're like sweaty, and their shoes are off.
Oh yeah, that's the worst though. Well, not the worst, but that's one of the worst. When girls take their shoes off in the freaking club.
Yeah, the Apache.
Why the hell are girls walking around barefoot in a club that has like the most dirty, grimy floor? It makes no freaking sense whatsoever.
Because they didn't practice the Apache way. The Apaches kept their shoes on.
The mama didn't teach them right. Okay.
I mean, granted, they didn't have to dance for 10 hours, but 4 hours of dancing with your shoes off, they can't go through womanhood.
Yeah,
because their shoes are off by the 3rd hour. Sometimes.
And apparently they didn't have a hut, so they're just
the club is their hut.
The club is their hut. But speaking of love huts, what about so Cambodia is not the only place that has that. There are also have you heard of love hotels?
I have not.
You've never heard of a love hotel? Seriously?
No, until you told me.
Oh, okay. Well, apparently I've been enlightened you on the way of love hotels. So countries like Japan, South Korea, Thailand have hotels that you can go and you can check in for a couple hours at a time, and it's meant to have sex. Basically, it's traced back to early Japanese times in the Edo period.
You have to pay to rest.
Well, yeah, that's what they call it, rest. But I think that's just code word.
What's the difference between resting and staying?
I think stay, that's a really good question. Are you going? Yeah, that is a really damn good question. I have no idea. But some of the love hotels also don't have windows. You can sometimes tell the love hotels because they'll have a heart on the sign, and some of them don't have windows.
Obvious.
So it's super discreet. Yeah, and then a lot of them have separate entrances too, so that the people that are, it's for privacy. And I've also heard that at the love hotels, I've never been to one, but honestly, the next time I go back to Japan, I would really like to look, just because.
If I go to Japan and I see a heart window and your face peeking out of the heart window.
No, you see my butt. I was mooning you.
I'm gonna be like,
but yeah, no, they have vending machines inside where you can buy condoms and lube and sex things and stuff like that. Well, I'm sure they're not encouraging unsafe sex, but
are they flavored?
What?
Are they flavored?
You know what? That's a really good question. We can find out. But yeah.
Speaking of flavors.
Okay. No. You actually brought that out at a really good time. So,
speaking of flavors, I have marshmallows again. And the last time I got marshmallows, they were the smaller ones because we couldn't find these big ones. Chubby Bunny during, what episode was that? Episode 2?
I think it was 3.
Episode 3 got a lot of reaction from people, and they really loved it because apparently they love it when we look stuffed. I don't know why. When our cheeks look stuffed. I got comments of, wow, you look like a volleyball. I'm like, thank you. Thanks. Let's do
what we all strive for.
Yeah. So, I mean, Miki's been here for a while now, and this is a common thing that she always asks.
Well, because I have the bladder the size of a chickpea.
Yeah.
So I have to pee all the freaking time.
Mm-hmm. And so she actually came up with today's phrase for this is our Tagalog lesson portion, but we like to do it with marshmallows in our mouth.
However, I'm gonna change something up real quick because I think we might be running low on time. Okay. So and we're gonna close out with the chubby bunny, but I don't wanna forget about the game of truth. So that again, that's something we've been doing, and it's something that I want to make sure that we touch on every episode because our friends and everyone's, you know, contributing. Yeah. So we'll answer these questions real quick, and then we'll get to my Tagalog lesson, chubby bunny.
Yeah, you could just fade us out with marshmallows and energy.
But anyway, okay. So Rhea asked via Twitter, if you're into someone and they're into you too, but aren't or don't make the first move, what should you do? You go. What? Basically, if you're into someone and you know they're into you too, what do you do if they don't make the first move?
Honestly, we would not be moving at all because I don't make the first move. Like, we'd just be like, like, I'm a wuss. Like, I can like somebody that much and not make a move. Okay. Although I'll give hints that I like them, but if they're not making a move, I'm not gonna make a move.
Okay.
We're not gonna get anywhere pretty much.
Be friends. Friends on for life. Me, like, if I like someone, and I know they like me, or even if I think they like me, I'm the kind of person I would rather get it out of the way than to just think about it for the rest of my life. Like, I'd rather take action. I'm a person of action. So if I like someone, I will let them know. Now, whether or not I'm gonna go in for a first kiss or anything like that, more than likely not. But I will express that I like them, and I'll kind of let them take it from there.
Okay. And one more question?
Yeah, let's answer one more question.
Let's do Manfred.
Manfred, my friend from Germany, asked, what are you afraid of? That's kind of a big one, only because there's so many things that I guess I'm afraid of in some sense, but ultimately, I'm afraid of death. I guess that's the yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, I'm afraid of sharks. Yeah, okay. Because of Discovery Channel and how much I watch it. But anyway.
And before our mouth gets, what was that? Sorry, I didn't see that. Yay, we get more time.
Yay, because more time oh no, that's
before
what?
Yes, and before our mouth gets completely stuffed with marshmallows, we want to say our thanks.
Oh yeah, so, we can't say this with things in our mouth.
Exactly. So big thank you to Beyond the Box for having us here. We appreciate your time. Huge thanks to New Media Factory for hosting us and being our newest family.
And to our fashion stylist, Miss Casey, who gave us this beautiful attire today. Let's stand up again. Hold on, I'm stepping on my skirt. Hold on.
My legs are kind of stuck together right now.
But I love this belt. I don't want to give it back to you.
Yeah, I'd like to keep this too. But
so yeah, pretty much if you want to contact her. Oh, she also has a men's suit line.
Yes, she actually does her own tailoring for that. But
pretty spiffy.
And you can reach her at 624-0955.
That's a long number.
Or 0917-538-6868.
Nice, first try. And my skirt, by the way, is from Crazy About Maxi.
Yep. And my top and skirt is from Flattering Tops.
Go ahead. Thank our makeup artist.
Yeah.
Thank our makeup artist. Go. You can do this.
And our makeup artist is Naj Zaragoza. Yes. And she has been amazing and just fantastic to work with.
You're going to do a perfect job.
And her number to reach her is at 0915-588-8045 or 544-2016. And we also really want to send a super special thank you to Salon Bois. We've been going there pretty much since I arrived here in the Philippines, and they've been so gracious, and they've done our hair for the past several months.
They pretty much do anything, mani-pedi, relaxing, Brazilian blowout.
Yep.
What is also
the whole 9 yards. I mean, you just go there and get completely pampered. And they're located in Makati.
Yes, and they're super sweet. Such a great staff to work with. And their stylist Sam will totally take care of you whenever you need a haircut, style you. Super sweet bunch of good people, and they're so welcoming. So thank you to Salon Bois for having us.
Thank you.
And for taking care of us.
And now it is time
for the Malo. Okay, so since this girl always has to use the bathroom.
Yes.
I think she should learn this term. I mean, it's good for your everyday life. Wait, where is it? Okay. So, how do you normally ask them to use the bathroom? Like,
where is the bathroom?
So you have to say, saan ba yung banyo?
Saan ba yung banyo? Saan ba yung banyo?
Yeah.
Saan ba yung banyo?
And then my response is, nandyan lang ang banyo. And if I can, I'll try to put it on my lips.
Okay. So,
oh my god, these are so big.
saan ba yung banyo? Ma'am, please no.
Nandyan lang ang banyo. I'm
Well,
going
I'm
that way.
really
It's not
not
that way.
I can't figure out where it is. So, saan ba yung banyo?
Nandyan lang ang banyo.
Okay. Saan ba yung banyo? Holy crap.
Nandyan lang ang banyo. What color do I have in my mouth?
Good. Saan ba yung banyo?
Nandyan lang ang banyo.
I can't understand this. I can't understand a single thing.
Yeah, you can say that anytime you want. Oh my god, there's people. I was able to move all of Ew. Are we faded out yet?
Should we counter marshmallow?
So
I now know how to ask where the bathroom is.
wait, say it properly.
Ba yung banyo?
Nandyan lang ang banyo.
Saan ba yung banyo?
There you go. So now you know. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh crap! 1, 2, 3, 5.
I don't want to touch these.
I have 5.
I have 5.
Yay, we tied. We both
You don't want to
lost.
touch my hand right now.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw something squirt my cup. But yeah, anyway, that's our Tagalog lesson for the day. We want to leave you with this video to kind of
Just to leave this on a positive note.
thank you from women like us.
I don't know anyone on Savannah Lane who would dare look into another's eyes while making love.
La 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 la. La 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 la.
The secret of Eve and her sisters lies in 2 words, peace and love. So the males can just kick back.
La 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 la. La 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 la.
Like, yep. I did.
Alright, so for real. Bye guys.
Bye guys, see you next week.
Bye.
Dude.